Hey everyone, Mr. Nowicki here. I am going to teach you how to create a CAD drawing. So, the first thing we need to do is download the template. I've created a template in Schoology. So if you log into your Schoology and go to the course, there's a file here called HMS Tech Template. So if you click on it, now you're going to click on Download File. Alright, so now if you look down here, it'll show up here. Make sure you're using Chrome, by the way. And then you can either hit this arrow here, and you can click Open, or Show in Folder, however you want. It's saved to your Downloads folder by default. So, if I click over to Inventor, I'm going to go to Open. And if I look in my Downloads folder, HMS Tech Template. Now what I recommend you do right away is save it with a different name. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and just like all of your other assignments, save it to wherever you keep your stuff. So I'm going to go to my Inventor folder, Puzzle Cube, and I'm going to name mine my last name, and then what class period I'm in, and then I'm going to call it Puzzle Cube. And for this assignment, for the Puzzle Cube project, I recommend you save it this way. So it's your last name, underscore, whatever class period you're in, P2, 3, 4, whatever, and then underscore Puzzle Cube. And then I'm going to click Save. Alright, so this is the first page. This is called the cover sheet. So you can actually double click on it right here. It's kind of weird, Inventor. If you look, it looks like these two are the active sheets, but it's actually the one that's not highlighted. It's kind of counterintuitive. So the cover sheet, you can just double click on the text, and then it'll pull up the box, and you can change it to your name, and then your class period, and the title. Alright, now we're going to go to our first part. So we click on Part 1, and notice it's already got the Hale Storm logo, Hale Middle School, Mr. Nowicki's technology class, and the project is Puzzle Cube. The only problem with this is that the title block, I already skipped past where it pops up, so you're going to click on what I'm clicking on here, right? I hit the down arrow here, I went to the title block, and if I double click on this field text, you should be able to give it some more information. So, type name, I'm going to put Nowicki, comma, Mr., creation date, that is a default fill-in, so you won't be able to change that. You could change the project title, but for this case we're going to leave it as Puzzle Cube, and I click OK. Alright, so now I'm going to go to actually put in my Puzzle Cube. So I'm going to click Base, and I'm going to go click on this folder icon here, and then I have to go find where I have my puzzle part saved. So Inventor, Puzzle Cube, and I'm going to go with this one first. Okay, so here we have, you can move this out of the way. If you click and hold your left mouse button, you can drag it over. The 1-to-1 is probably going to be a little too big, so you can click this down arrow, and this is the scale. So I would do 3/4, maybe. That's going to shrink it down a little. So I click here. I'm going to go up here and click, come over here and click, and then I'm going to come over here and click. Then I right-click, and I go OK. And now you see I have all of my views, right? Just like we did our manual drawing. And then if you notice when I highlight over each view, it gets this red dotted box, so that means I can kind of remove stuff or rearrange things, move it around. So when I double click on this one, I'm actually going to click this icon, I believe it's right here, and then I click OK, and that'll shade in. You only shade in your isometric, do not shade in the other ones. And the isometric looks a little small for that, so I'm actually going to change that to a 1-to-1. Actually, no, I want to leave that at 3/4, and that should be fine. That's fine. So that's a 3/4 scale. If you wanted to do 1-to-1, I could double click on my front view and change that to 1-to-1. Click OK, and then I can change back here and go 1-to-1. And yeah, I guess we do have enough room for that. So that was my concern. To move this, see how it won't let me move it? It's because I have to move my front view first. And then we can rearrange that. So that's our first our first part. Now we have to dimension it. So we're going to click on the Annotate tab up here, and I go to Dimension, and I'm going to click from here to here. It's 2.25, and I can turn that off so it doesn't pop up each time. And I can click here. That's 0.75. And if I want to click here, that's 0.75. So if I know this is 0.75 and this one's 0.75, I don't have to dimension this section because it's the only one that is left out of the 2.25, and that would be 0.75. So same here, I can click over here, and I can click here, and then we know that one's done. And let's see if there's any other dimensions that aren't obvious. Maybe from here to here. And I guess that would be it for that page. So the way Inventor works is whatever page you're on when you click, so I'm going to go back to Place Views tab. When you click on New Sheet, it's going to create a copy of that sheet so it's set up the same. So if I were on my cover sheet and I did a new sheet, it would be blank and just like this. If I was on my part sheet, which had this title block, which I need, and I click New Sheet, it would give me the similar sheet to this. And then, let's see, Puzzle Cube, I click OK. So now you can see here, and I can drag and drop these and reorder these, so don't worry about that. So when I click here, see it's the same title block, it's the sheet 3, here's sheet 2, and that's technically sheet 1, right? So that's part 1 of the drawing. I will finish part 2 on the next video.